Welcome, everybody, to your full moon end of justice system. I had the nudge the other day to undo the justice system. I have left no stone unturned in undoing the false matrix systems. That's who I am, and that's what I've been doing since 2019. From clearing Mount Shasta to activating pyramids to freeing Jesus's soul, the resurrection on Christmas Day, undoing the Holy Grail, undoing the money matrix, undoing the Sistine Chapel, undoing the medical matrix, which YouTube banned, which is on Patreon though. And we do have to heal out of these systems because they are false. And they have a funny way of like feelers of negativity. So the Antichrist system or the system of the Matrix has these branches that break off from religion to the medical to money to justice system and more. And each branch off is just different ways of power and control, manipulation and divide. Because the more you are divided, the more you are weakened and blinded, and then the more you give your power to the dark side. Don't believe me? Then maybe you're not meant to be here. Otherwise, welcome. Because today on this full moon energy, so the full moon technically was yesterday on the 12th of April, but actually Spirit said don't touch anything until the 13th for the full moon. So I am also in the midst of octaving the earth through the pyramids because we have risen to a certain degree in the pyramid ascension. The pyramids that I've activated are your portals of ascension. That is what's causing the vibration of the earth to rise, as well as undoing the darkness on this planet. The earth is rising either way. Okay. So today I am being called to clear the justice system. A lot of this work is found on this channel. The rest is in the path to righteousness, which is what God had me put all of the work that I did, which is every bit of healing you need to get into New Earth and put it in a path and call it the path to righteousness. So some of the work that I did is only available through there, like activating Pyramid Fiji Part 2 and the God of Portals is only in the path to righteousness, and much more. So the pyramid implementations, like there's a lot of work in the path to righteousness that you don't see on this channel, but there's also a lot of work on this channel that came through, like undoing the Holy Grail on Christmas Day happened live on this channel. So I encourage you to like, subscribe, stick around, but mostly to only bring love. And if you don't understand it, that's okay. You're not meant to, because we can't see past the shadow. It's truly about giving space and trust and believing in God over the shadow, finding love, finding the light, digging deeper into your heart and allowing things to be proven as you go because they will. But this work is deemed foolishness to those who don't have spirit in their heart either way. Okay. All right, so I'm using some Palo Santo to help cleanse our energy because last night there was some major darkness that I had to push out of my energy that came up in there. So I know something major is on its way in the collective for the ascension. Something big is on its way. And in the Octavine the Pyramids, day one, we undid the train and time and train tracks because the vibrations don't match. And they flipped a switch and said darkness, day one applied. And then day two of octaving the pyramids was Budapest unrest, which is a pyramid that I activated, as well as the electrical grid. I brought mass Christ light through the angels and the pyramids into the crystals beneath the pyramids and into the core. And it was like filling power into our true electrical grid. And as I did that, I undid the false electrical grid system. And they said Tesla applied. And then they said darkness day two applied. So there's a lot going on, okay? This is not for the faint of heart, and this is not for those who are not ascending, okay? And to bring anything outside of love into this work truly does hurt. So even if you don't see it yet and you're here, there's a reason. So just sit back, observe, and allow things to unfold for you as they may, like an awakening journey. Because what I do is truly in your heart space. It is the truth of God. It is the true work of Christ, and it will be found in your heart space beyond the illusions of the shadow. Okay, so, but those who don't have God in their heart will never see it either way. I'm not here to fool you. I'm just here to do the work because I know we're rising and I know why. So today is the dawn of justice. The day of justice is what I keep hearing. And it's like de la muerte. What is that? Dawn of the dead, day of the dead, de la muerte. I don't know why that's coming through. Ooh, I'm getting chills. De la muerte, day of justice is what I'm hearing. Does that even mix? I don't think so. Isn't that Dawn of the Dead? I don't know why I'm hearing that. I did receive a channeled message about this, so I'm going to read that off, and then I'm just going to go into whatever comes through because I really don't know how these play out ever. I just channel them all the way. So I did find some really cool information coming through in here. And as I'm beginning, I keep hearing De la Muerte, which is Dawn of the Dead. Right? Isn't that what that is? Justice served either way. So I asked Spirit, can you tell me about what's coming today? What about the justice system do I need to know? I did a video recently they want me to talk about Trump and what's going on right now. And they said the justice system, who's in charge anyway, right? It came up about the justice system. Something was going to be happening between Trump and the justice system. And they said, who's in charge anyway? So they want me to talk about that. That's one of my recent videos about where we're at in the White House, I think, and in the Ascension at that time. So this is what I got about undoing the justice system. The Hall of Justice is not what you think. Hall of Justice is not what you think. Panel of Judges, Supreme Court, an inside leak. The Hall of Justice is not what you think. Panel of Justice, Supreme Court, an inside leak, like something's leaking. A sneak and a power freak. Panel of Judges, Supreme Court, an inside leak, a sneak, and a power freak. That's what they said so far. We don't try to dictate what this means. We put it in our pocket and let it unfold as the truth brings, okay? So I'm going to read that part again because this is big. Hall of Justice is not what you think. Panel of Judges, Supreme Court, an inside leak. A sneak and a power freak. River of justice for all dismay. Dishonor amongst you. Come this May. An undoing of the darkest threat. Trust not on this justice, for there truly is no justice here. Only a race and power and money. Greed and fear. Supreme Court of Justice, head of the states. States, plural. Have their fingers in everything at stake. Who really has the power anyways? We the people or the KKK? Many names of the cabal. So, oh, the chills. They're calling the justice system the KKK. And if you think about it, I get that image back to where they used to have like these lynching mobs or like these many people and many men, or mostly men, I believe, at the time, and they would wear like these white robes and they would deem who needs to hang and burn on the cross. Kind of like what they do now in the justice system, in a way, in a very dramatic way. I'm going to read this again one more time. Hall of Justice is not what you think. Panel of Judges, Supreme Court, an inside leak. a sneak and a power freak. River of justice for all dismay, dishonor amongst you. Come this May. An undoing of the darkest threat. Trust not on this justice, for there truly is no justice here. Only a race and power and money, Supreme Court of Justice, head of the states, have their fingers in everything at stake. Who really is in power anyways? We the people or the KKK? Many names of the cabal. Okay, that's the message for what I'm about to undo, for what the justice system is, and what it truly means for all of you. Spirit is quite cryptic, but also very layered. Everything I say matters. Everything in these. There's not one thing that doesn't matter. So it's important to listen to all things and put it in our pocket and have no expectations to what it brings. Okay. So if you want to witness and then receive, that's probably best. But if you would like to try to receive, you can. So just put your feet on the floor and your palms facing up. I need something in my hands. What do I need? Selenite, 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 and the masculine wand. Dishonor amongst you is what I'm hearing. They connect to the Pentagon, which I undid that also with the money matrix and undoing the pentagram. Call of justice. So I call on the creator of all that is and all the angels too, to be with me in this time and space, the Galactic Council, the gods and goddesses, and any other beings of light that wish to step forward. Saint Germain is stepping forward with the Akashic Records. So I'm getting insights here of a specific bloodline, also taking us to Salem, the time of Salem. Kampala etere ia antolo o ko ela atawa etere I watara katala antoyo ya. I speak the language of God. Bolo unkantala aya ite ia tala kantoyo etola etere I. I'm getting many different images and I'm trying to understand them. They're coming in really fast. So there's some bloodline that came up, but I didn't hear a specific one yet. I'm also bringing it into the energy of Salem, which we undid during the return of Christ work already. It was cleared out. There was a darkness there, and we freed the souls from there already. And then I'm also getting an image of where they would wear the white wigs and they would have like their gavels. Excuse me. De la Muerte. Oyala. And then I keep hearing De la Muerte. Day of the Dead. There have been many souls burned, stoned, hung, and shot and injected. And this is not justice. To kill is not justice. It goes against God. Then I also get a vision of outside and like these fires, massive fires, and images of the KKK doing their thing where they would burn people on the cross. Hangings, many hangings, in front of everybody, making all people witness these things. I feel like I'm going into darkness to do this. That's how I feel. Like I'm literally traveling into darkness and I'm getting a lot of chills as I'm saying all of this. So I'm going to put around me the biggest bubble of light and love only. De la muerte, ele kianta untoloya, eti iolo unto kopalaada, ala atire alo untoa. Full moon, river of justice, the sun coming in. unto alaya iato. This is God's justice now. Unto ilia atayolo untoya. This is God's justice now. Untola akianta la atiri iayoa. God's justice now. De la Muerte, and I keep hearing that, and then I hear God's justice now. And I see the Galactic Council. And then I see different states. So Texas is heightened, Florida, Washington, Oregon, Pennsylvania, New York, Colorado, California, Nevada, Utah, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Georgia, Hawaii, Alaska, something about the Norwegian Parliament, UK, I'm getting a lot of weight on my chest. I call in mass protections all around me, inside and out, love only. I remove all energies that do not belong and I call back my power completely. De la muerte, elegiantale antoroaya. I keep hearing de la muerte. Is that Day of the Dead, right? Wow, chills. Supreme Court Justice. Dolo ontai ele ia telekianta lo otoya antaya lo otoya. Virginia, Kentucky, Montana, Nebraska. For if it's justice you seek, justice will find you. For there is not justice through this system. That is not justice at all. The thing is maybe we need protections, but we wouldn't if they didn't beget darkness. Darkness begets darkness. Darkness begets darkness. So that's the only reason we needed protection is from what they monks created. For where there is God, there is truly love, light, and all connectedness. So I'm seeing like the portal of darkness that I just uncovered, which I thought I missed this before, but I don't think so. I think it's time now because I see the portal of darkness, like the portal of hell, but God doesn't call it hell. Go back to which you came. This is not justice after all. They are dirty, 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 dirty. De la muerte, dawn of the dead. It's like a resurrection. I know that doesn't quite make sense, but I feel like I'm drawing out those that they have dismayed. I'm calling forth the souls that they have dismantled, burned, stoned, buried alive, buried alive, buried alive. There was a time of burying alive. Oh, especially in the Wild West. The sheriff would order them buried alive. I feel like I'm going into the coldness, into the void of light. Something beyond the river of ice. Something beyond the river of ice. I need to open up my heart a little bit more and remove all energy of that doesn't belong. So in one hand, I hold my staff of the sun, and on my chest is the moon, the pendant of the moon of my DM. We come together as if we are one to have the strength to complete this today. At the soul, we are one. So I see like a river, and it will turn to blood. I will purge what needs purging. De la muerte. So I see the sun and the moon going over the Supreme Court. And then these like storm clouds coming over the Supreme Court, like big, huge gray clouds of a storm. Ambala Ekyanto, and I'm calling forth their day of justice, their day of heart reviews applied, and they're calling it De la Muerte. Ambolo Kundala Antayole Ayeta Iwanto. I am seeing also people with like black cloaks, not white, but also white, and upside down crosses. Church and state, I'm hearing also a part of this applied. And then also the school systems come in here. So this is also connected to the school systems. Comes from the Supreme Justice. And how they do connect to the government, but who's in charge anyways? Antola, something you don't know is who's in charge anyways. Antola Antoyo Ulaganta. If you haven't noticed, the one who keeps taking over is the court system. And they do not have the people at their heart space. So now I'm seeing like a lot of native tribes, and then I even come back to like Abraham Lincoln and the divide of tribes. And I'm seeing a lot of eagles rise, and I'm seeing a lot of like native elders. Native elders start to rise up through the mountains, the rivers, the seas, the mountains, the rivers, the seas, the trees. The mountains, the rivers, the seas, the trees, the winds of justice have finally found you. Ompolo Okontaraea. Day of justice is amongst you. Numpala Atara e Lekiantayo. Holding the power of the sun and the moon, the one you see before you. I see it like a chess game. So they're showing me like a chess game. Like I make a move, they make a move. I make a move until I checkmate them. And I do it with the queen. Checkmate of the queen. Hey, this went with my image the other day too on my video. I didn't realize the significance there. Who's in charge anyways? I keep hearing that. De la muerte. So we are being surrounded by tribal ancestors. This is important. This is important. De la muerte. They spoke of the day of justice, justice on its way. They held space and they counted down the days. They are guided by the sun and the moon and the stars and God above you. And know that all must be done through the light of the sun and the moon and the one in love through you. System of justice is not equal. I see a lot of screaming souls. Also in prisons, there's a lot of rape and abuse and torture. and even intentional poisonings, and where they would intentionally poison you. Drug running comes from a lot of guards, not just inmates. So the guards will use the inmates for their own purpose and gain. There's a lot of that, a lot of sexual misconduct in the guard system. Let's expose the justice system, shall we? And only when they are forced by the hand do they set you free. And with what? An apology. And to kill a man is not of God for any reason. We would not have needed protection if they didn't poison the world to begat darkness. It is all on them. It is all on them. So all of it goes back to them. Many women and children murdered, drug runners actually stem a lot from them. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? I see this. I see this now. Like even down to Mexico and other countries, they are connected to the Supreme Court of Justice. What are they called? The gangs, like the cartel, uh, hmm. Did you know that sometimes they set them free on purpose? Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? That the justice systems have been truly the ones in charge of all things. Oh. Darkness begets darkness. De la muerte. So I see this darkness, this dark, dark, dark cloud coming over the Supreme Justice and all of the courts across the country, every state that I've mentioned and more. It goes all across the country and even into like Norway, and other places. And Dola, I hear Parliament, Norwegian Parliament. And Dola koya tala iya. And Dola kola tala iya. A great storm has come and it's time to pay for all the souls in dismay. For darkness begats darkness amongst the people. It's never been about the people and talaga, but money and power and greed. And it goes all the way back to the beginning of the system creation, where many man signed the Declaration of Independence. And talagoya, and talagoya, and so I'm seeing like signing this Declaration of Independence on Delagoya, on Delagoya, on Delayaya. It's not what you think it was, on Delagoya. I'm seeing those names come off of the paper. Justice will now be applied. Supreme justice. They would break out wars amongst many. It's like these weapons of mass destruction through people. And they would go all over creating wars, division, power, and greed. Many women and children, many people burned and tortured and long time bleed. You know what I mean? Like a very slow bleeding out. Untala oyaya. And even people buried alive. Untala kuntala ya 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 ya. Untala kuntoya ya 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 ya. Antala cantoya, ya, 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 ya. Antala yatarai. River of justice applied. Declaration of Independence is not what you think. So the words, the writing, the signatures are reversing. They're coming off of the page, what it is, what it was created to be. Things were not created in the light. I do see the KKK burning people on the crosses, deciding who needs to suffer, deciding who owns what, controlling the land, controlling the people, and anybody who went against them, they had great power to do with you what they may. They can imprison you, they can kill you, they would poison you too. Whatever it needed to be, they would do it. They would do it. Is it really the White House in charge? Or was it the Supreme Court of Justice? So I'm seeing the panel of jurors, like there's this panel of jurors, the Supreme Court of Justice, this panel of jurors, and I see their hearts like beating, like ba-boom, 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 and they are meeting their demise. It's like meeting your demise. What papers have you signed? What things have you done? And why? Why? The intention of truth behind your structure. Why? Why? A great day of justice is on its way. Why? Why? What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? The founders of the country, the founders, the great founders, founded nothing but power over you. Everything's controlled by the Supreme Court of Justice. De la muerte. So the storm over the Supreme Court of Justice, I get the image of all the souls rising. The ones that I have mentioned, the ones buried alive and burned and stoned and hung, all of them across the globe are rising. It's like they're rising out of their graves and they're all starting to go that way. So you can imagine what they've done and why they've done it. It's all going to come back at them now. It's all going to reverse and come back at them now. De la Muerte, River of Justice applied. And then I see like the gavel and I'm like, bam. I see lots of contracts, lots of things signed, and I see lots of judges doing things that leave you blind. So much power and greed and control. And it didn't matter what people did, they held the power to let them go. Long time known that if you have money, you will be free. Certain people were set free for a reason. Darkness begets darkness amongst you. It's time for a change in season. I keep hearing like religion and the Supreme Court of Justice were connected. And who truly held the power anyways? Declaration of Independence is being undone as we speak. Like they're writing their signatures. The bloodshed that they peak, the bloodshed that they seek, the power is insatiable. Like so much power. Oh, the chills. They had so much power. If you wrong them, you will go down no matter what. They will manipulate. They will make you look guilty even when you're not. Darkness begets darkness. Like all these sectors of police stations that are totally poison. Total darkness, no light. So I see it trickling down to the police and even into the fire departments. I'm not saying everybody's here to harm. Some people do want to help. And of course they are seen. River of Justice. River of Justice is coming for you now. Yeah. Why do you do what you do? Intention is everything. So something about the police system in New York, Chicago, Dallas. And I feel like De La Morte, I feel like all of those that they have wronged are rising out to face them head on. They have to see what they have done. They have to reap what they have sown. Inmates and torture and bloodshed and tears and power and greed. So much power and fear amongst all, and these poison begets poison, these dark entities. They blame us for being darkness and crazy, and really they're walking around with a badge and a gun and handcuffs for all. And they put you in the justice system, which you can never fully get out. Darkness begets darkness. It's a poison. It's a poison that keeps poisoning you all. Who's in charge anyways? And even what the president tries to do, the Supreme Court takes over. Don't let them fool you. They have been in charge of everything. And I see the portal of darkness opening and starting to call them through. But they must first suffer all that they have done to you. De la muerte. Lo contoyo. So I see them being shackled and bound and buried alive and have to look at what they've done. They have to see, they have to see, they have to see amongst you. And then I see countries being set free. I see people being set free, whether they're alive or not anymore. So mote it be. All the shackles that bound you, the shackles that bound you, and the shadow that blinded you. Who's in charge anyways? They have to reap what they sow. So even back to the land they stole, they have to reap what they sow. And beyond the ice wall, a false world of illusions and confusion, power and greed. For whatever you do, I can lock you up. I can take your life from you. Sic semper simplify. By justice means, by any means necessary, I will take back from you. Isn't that what they said when they took away Abraham Lincoln? Treason. Those who go against us, we will take them back by any justice necessary, by any means necessary. It is justified because you went against our plight. Supreme Court of Justice, the darkness will rise, and to be seen by all amongst the skies. De la Muerte applied. Like all of the dead now rise to haunt you. You must see what you've done. You must see what you've done. You must see what you've done. And then I even see like drug lords being a part of them. Don't they go into cahoots? Like, don't they work together? Let's see the truth. Let's see the truth. Let's see the truth. Many countries applied. Many countries applied. True justice must be justified, for that was not God's justice. It was never about the people, but about power, control, and greed. And they poisoned, they locked you up and left you blind, and they controlled everything. Antichrist exposed. That's what I hear. Lots of chills. True exposure of the Antichrist. Supreme Court of Justice. Who's really applied? Who's really connected? Obama. Obama. Bill Gates. Bill Gates. Mm-hmm. 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 Bush. Yep. Mm-hmm. And more. And more. It's all through the Supreme Court of Justice. Oh, and then I start to see the river fill with blood. But they must first see what they've done, and all must see who they are. Like a poison system. And they would put darkness amongst you, and then they would go to trial and always get away with it. Kind of like O.J. Simpson, too. If the glove didn't fit, you must acquit. So they plant a glove out there for you to see, to think that it's not right. They plant things, they manipulate, they change things to fool you because they can. Because they can. It's time to bleed. It's time to see all that you have done. I call forth now, de la muerte. Those you have wronged must rise in front of you. Those you have wronged must show you. You will feel their pain in every way. You will feel their pain on this day. You will feel their pain in every way. You will feel their pain on this day. You can no longer hide. You can no longer fool things in front of you. You will now be seen by all. Justice served through God's eyes. And then I see a big storm just pouring down on the Supreme Justice. All the police systems, everything. We wouldn't have darkness if they didn't poison our world. Darkness begets darkness. And now it's time for light to beget light. You are served de la muerte. Palo contra la ia. Pala contra la ia atolo oya. Motaya oyawa. And they are sent back to which they came from. They will first see and feel what they have done, and they are sent back to which they came from, and they have now lost all power. I see all of these jail cells opening up. I see all of these things being shown. The control, the power, division, manipulation, all the exposures of how they would manipulate DNA, how they even had their fingers in the medical field, how they had their fingers in every sector of the Antichrist matrix. They are the Antichrist system. It is that. It's time to be seen. Justice served is on its way, and the river is filling with blood, the river of justice. The Nile. And I see cracks in their foundation opening up in that portal, like the darkness, like the underneath the Sistine Chapel, how it was all like burning lava. It looks like the pits of what you would call hell, right? That's what it looks like. And it's opening up under the Supreme Court justice system. And that splits off into all of like these police stations, all these different sectors. Oh my God. I remove all energies that are not of mine, and I call back my power completely. I put up protections through the hands of time to support me and protect me. I feel this horrible feeling in my gut. It hurts. All of their foundation is crumbling, and the only thing left for them is what they have suffered amongst you. It's time for them to eat the poison, to feel what they have done to you. To feel what they have done to you. Sic semper simplify. Isn't that what John Wilkes Booth said when he killed Abraham Lincoln? Isn't it the motto of Virginia? What is that one? Whatever they said, that means justice can be done by any means necessary because you went against what we want you to do. That's what they did. And they held the power. They would control you. They could lock you up. They could destroy your life. And how many people did bad things and got away with it? would walk scot-free, and there would be nothing that we could do. Nothing except for fight and fight and fight and fight and fight for our lives. We've spent many a moons and many suns fighting for our lives. We've had land of plenty taken for their greed. And if we didn't comply, we were murdered, tortured, and left to bleed. True justice is now applied. De la Muerte will now rise for the justice system. There have been many police officers who raped and maimed and killed and tortured and set the scene to make it look like somebody else. Many innocents have gone down, but see, darkness begets darkness. Why did we need protection? Because of them. And if you think all of like drug lords and darkness is not connected to the justice system, think again. This is why they're truly in charge and not the White House. You think the White House is the Antichrist? Think again. Think again. Anta aloyo. This is the Antichrist. Welcome to De la Muerte. Rising of the light. Rising of what they long thought was gone and dead and undone. Oh no. No, they must now reap what they sow. And then I take the gavel and it's like whack. And then this wave of justice, and their foundation crumbles and opens up and is exposed. And it looks like El Diablo rising from the Supreme Court. It looks like El Diablo rising from the Supreme Court. I said this was coming. I said I was going to expose the Antichrist. It is El Diablo rising from the Supreme Court. De la Muerte. De la Muerte, you will reap what you sow. And I see El Diablo, he looks like this fiery beast. What people see him as is what he's showing as. And he is being handcuffed and shackled and bound, and he must eat what he has sown. De la Muerte, the El Diablo must now eat what he has sown. De la Muerte applied. Dawn of the Dead. It's written in the Akasha records. It is ordered through the light of the One. Karma has shifted, and the Nile will now fill blood red with all of the blood that they have drawn and sown. It's coming back to them now. They will eat and reap what they sow. Who's in charge anyways? It wasn't the White House. The Supreme Court Justice was in charge of everything. They are the reason there's fear and destruction and crime. They are the reason that money was the power of all time. They are the reason of drugs and poisons. That's what I'm seeing. They are the reason drugs became a thing. School systems, the school systems, the school systems I cannot forget. The school systems are involved in the Supreme Court of Justice. There's a connection there. But excuse me. A releasing there, and I got a tear coming out of my right eye. And they will crumble and fall. No more of the structure of the Supreme Court system. And this hurts my stomach. It's like something doesn't like me doing this at all. I have now exposed the Antichrist all of the way. And the portals of darkness have opened up to swallow them whole. And they keep saying it's De la Muerte. They will reap what they've sown. And then I see it burning and burning and burning and burning. And I see it burning and burning, and I get such chills when I say that. and burning and burning and burning and burning. And they can't run, they can't hide, they are shackled and bound to the structures of jail systems that they created. They keep you shackled and bound and blinded and divided. It was them amongst many. Antala ay agua atala untoyo. The shackles and bounding, the shackles and bounding, shackles and bounding. They are now, like, I totally see El Diablo shackled and bound and stuck in a space to suffer what he himself has done. The fallen. The fallen. And in the end, the light of the one will be taken from them. They will no longer be connected to the heartbeat of the light of the one, the sun and the moon. They can no longer have control over this world. To shackle and bind you. Shackle and bind left you blind. Shackle and bind left you blind. And I give back the land to which it belongs. The rightful owners of this land has been returned back to you, to us, to the light, to the sun and the moon. It is our home again. All the rest must go. De la muerte. Darkness exposed. The Supreme Court justice has now been undone. And I see it in the Galactic Council, and it's written in the Akasha records. It is ordered by the light of the one. The foundation will open and all you will see who was truly in charge anyway. River of justice is served and the Antichrist exposed. And this hurts my stomach badly. Let me see if there's something I'm forgetting because I don't know what this pain is. Banking systems, police systems, structure of protection, which is not protection at all. The structure of protection was not protection at all. It was about the justice system. It was about binded and shackled and blinded. And they did what they wanted to do. But they put a facade in front of you to make you think they were for the people. School systems is a part of a structure of education that kept you bound and blinded. Everything they did in the world kept you bound to these boxes of shackles and blindness and division. The sector of religion, the medical field, school systems, the government system, all created to blind, shackle, and bind with an illusion of for the people. But we, the people, have now returned the light of the one and the sun. It's time for all to be undone under the light of the sun. Darkness exposed. With this full moon energy on the 13th of April. Actually, it's 1313. So I just took April and then 2025, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is 1313. Darkness was exposed on 1313 is 1313. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1313. Darkness was exposed on 1313. Return of the light. I told you it was coming. I told you it was coming. And now it's here. And that's why God said, don't touch anything until the 13th. And I woke up at 4 a.m. with this horrible darkness trying to pull me down, and I had to clear it out. And I anchored into the sun and the moon. I'm half the sun and I'm half the moon, and I am now here for you. I give back the land to the people of the sun and the moon. I give back the land to the people of the light, and them only. It's time for light to be and darkness to leave this earth. Justice served. 1313, De la Muerte, undoing the justice system. The Antichrist, fully exposed. It was the justice system and all of the other sectors. All of the Supreme Court of Justice, like their hearts, like pound out of their chest, but they have to reap what they sow. They have to. It's time to eat what they have done and reap what they have sown. For darkness begat darkness, and they shackled and bound everyone. They divided and enslaved, and you thought it was just the black man. It is all of you. We are all equal, black, yellow, white, green, or purple. They enslaved all of you. And you are now free. Cantala ella la otoroea de la muerte applied. They are now in the river of justice, and they will bleed what they've sown. And I see the Nile turning blood red. I see the Nile turning blood red. Happy 1313, Day of Justice. There will remain a great storm. I will not close this out. It will remain a great storm. All has already been undone, and I have just successfully exposed. And what I actually truly did was kick back all of those that they wronged to go their way. They have no choice but to see it all. De la Muerte. The rise of the dead. And now is time for the light to rise. Dawn of new skies. All of the shackles and bounds are undone. The justice system undone. The court system, the legal system, the disciplinary system, all false and corrupt and darkness and undone. Have you ever known what it felt to be buried alive? You see, they have to feel what they have done. They have to feel what they have done, even El Diablo, or the fallen, as God calls him, them. 1313 de la Muerte, Supreme Court system undone. So much love, my friends. I'm going to start coming back into my system. Whoa. I don't even know when I start, but I feel like that was a long time. This was exciting, and I will see you later.